Welcome to today's Explainer. We're connecting the dots on the biggest headlines shaping our world right now. From massive global shocks shifting international power dynamics, all the way down to those localized, everyday events directly affecting our wallets and daily lives. Let's just jump right in.
Here's the rundown for today. We're starting with global tensions and the US-Iran war, checking in on PM Modi's visit to Australia, then looking at some major shifts in national politics. After that, we'll cover the havoc caused by the recent monsoons and wrap things up with a look at business and tech.
All right, Part 1, Global Tensions and the US-Iran War.
Okay, let's dive into this. We really need to walk through this rapid sequence of events because, honestly, it has the entire global community on edge. So the catalyst here was the death of Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. And following this massive power vacuum, the situation deteriorated at a completely breathtaking pace. The US launched a huge offensive, and in direct retaliation, we're now seeing Iranian forces firing missiles at a US military base in Kuwait. It's this rapid tit-for-tat escalation that's fundamentally altering the security architecture of the whole region.
170. Just let that sink in for a second. That is the staggering number of individual U.S. attacks carried out on Iranian targets in a window of just 48 hours. I mean, think about the logistical scale and the sheer intensity of a military operation required to execute 170 strikes in 2 days. This isn't just some minor skirmish, right? That number clearly shows we're looking at a full-scale, devastating military engagement.
Now you might be wondering, why does a conflict thousands of miles away matter to us? Well, let's bring this distant geopolitical chaos right back home. There are 5 absolutely critical impacts this has on India. First and foremost, crude oil supply. Any tension in the Middle East immediately threatens our energy security. Second is the Strait of Hormuz. It's a vital bottleneck for global oil transit that's suddenly caught in the crossfire. And that leads directly to our third and fourth points: severe stock market fluctuations and, inevitably, trade disruptions. Finally, it forces India into a really delicate diplomatic balancing act between these global superpowers.
But what's really fascinating here is the dichotomy we're seeing in the financial world. On one hand, you had the logical initial reaction, which was basically pure panic. Investors were terrified of a market crash driven by fears over oil prices and the Strait of Hormuz closing. But look at the other side. That fear quickly and honestly quite unexpectedly flipped into a massive stock market rally. It just goes to show how complex and kind of unpredictable market psychology can be when geopolitical shockwaves actually hit the trading floor.
Moving on to Part 2, PM Modi in Australia and India's global footprint.
Picture the scene over at Marvel Stadium in Melbourne. Prime Minister Modi addressed this roaring, incredibly enthusiastic crowd of 30,000 members of the Indian diaspora